side.
You said guns will be taken?
Yeah, no one will be able to be armed. We will take all weapons.
That happened today in this wealthy neighborhood where homeowners had armed themselves to protect their mansions. Residents were handcuffed on the ground. In the end, police took their weapons but let them stay in their homes.
They were a little bit threatened because our weapons were bigger than their weapons.
For many of the police and guard troops, it is an uncomfortable job to do this in an American city.
This has been documented, so much so that the NRA and other gun lobby groups actually had to go out and file a claim against the city in order for them to return the guns that they took from people during this situation. And then the funny thing is, I had people who actually made comments in the comment section when I posted this tweet about it. And they were saying something to the effect of, oh, well, great way to take things out of context. And I'm guessing they're insinuating because it was after a major hurricane and it was flooding and it was a disaster zone, that somehow that makes it better to take people's firearms.
Police, open the door. They had AR-15s or M16s. They were pointing at us.
They told us, put your hands up in the air. Let us see your hands.
They're drawing down on me, and they let the looters run rampant for over a week? Are you kidding me?
I really thought they were going to kill me. I really did.
They didn't care what your rights were. They were going to deny them.
You're letting the thugs get away with everything, and you're coming to honest, good citizens and taking away their protection, and it is wrong, wrong, wrong.
But still, the order had been given for police and National Guard to go house to house, often with guns drawn, to evacuate residents and confiscate their firearms.
If people decided to stay and protect their homes with their firearms, to me, that makes the most sense in the world for them to keep their firearms to protect themselves. That's the very reason why they have them. So I will never understand, and no one could probably ever justify to me why police officers would go door to door and take firearms away from people who would utilize them to protect themselves.
Police that look like linebackers pushing you in a corner, you're in shock. I'm saying, look at all my food. I got plenty of food. They kept pushing me back, and ended up like this.
Then, Patty showed them a small revolver she was carefully holding in the palm of her hand. A camera crew was there to capture what unfolded next.
I said, it's not even loaded. And I dropped it on the floor.
You got a gun?
Well, they punched me in the face. Look at my black and blue marks. Look at what they did to me.
And for the people out there who think that this can't happen, it happened in 2005. The proof is there. But yet today, we still have people who think it can't happen. So when you hear Joe Biden, when you hear Kamala, and all the rest of these people talk about the idea of a gun registration, that's why I'm against a registration. Because confiscation is a lot easier when there's a registration of all the firearms that everybody owns. That's just how it works. So please understand, this is not fear-mongering. But when it comes to getting what they want, when it comes to making sure that the agenda that they want to actually make happen, oh no, they're about as clever as they come. Which is the whole notion behind the idea that we're going to have a mandatory gun buyback. And then if you don't sell your guns back, then we'll come and we'll arrest you. That's the part that they don't say.
Do you believe in the mandatory buyback of quote-unquote assault weapons? And whether or not you do, how does that idea not go against fundamentally the Second Amendment?
Yeah, great question. I do believe that we need to do buybacks, and I'll tell you why.
So to gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo. You're right if you have an assault weapon. The fact of the matter is they should be illegal, period.
So please, people, understand, this has actually happened before. People have had their guns confiscated in this country by a government, going door to door to do it. I don't care about the circumstance. I don't care whatever context you say needs to be made or not made. At the end of the day, they went door to door and they took people's firearms. And these people weren't criminals.